Hello students, today we are going to start the next part of our report, that is types of report. Okay, so now report, as we have gone through, that it communicates certain information. So now today we are going to study the different types of report and their function. Now as you can see this particular chart, it is divided into two parts. First is type, and the second section talks about the functions, that what actually it communicates. So as you can see, there are lots of types. Okay, there are many types of reports, and they have different functions, different ways, or different information which they communicate. So let's start today's day. So the first report, which is laboratory report. So let's discuss laboratory reports. As well as all of you are aware about this particular report is a report which is tested in a laboratory, and its result is communicated through a written report which is specified as a lab report. Okay, so all of you, or sometimes in your life, you must have gone through blood test. Okay, so blood test, how does blood test happen? You go to that particular lab, that that particular person or the compounder takes out the blood. Okay, that test is being done on the prescription of a doctor, that what parameter is to be analyzed. Parameter means प्रॉब्लम क्या है, और सिम्टम के बेसिस पे हमारे पर्टिकुलर टेस्ट होते हैं जो स्पेसिफाइड होते हैं. एंड व्हेन दैट डॉक्टर प्रिस्क्राइब्स, definitely that particular lab person analyzes those tests which specifies that if it's hemoglobin within, it is within the range, there will be a benchmark. That suppose a human body consists of so much blood, and how much hemoglobin your body is having. So the benchmark is what should be the actual blood in a body. Okay, prescribed blood. So that is how a laboratory report communicates that whether it is within that particular range of acceptable, or whether it should be treated on urgent basis. So that is how the laboratory report communicates that everything is fine, okay, or not. And that report you carry to your doctor, and then doctor, according to that report or laboratory test, whatever has been the result, that is being taken care of. Okay, so I think so laboratory report will be very clear to you. Then we have research report. As the name suggests, research. Research means you are going to find something new. Okay, so it is a study about a problem scientifically. Scientifically means step by step. Okay, and there will be a problem in a research. Okay, you are going to find a particular problem, and you are going to find a solution to a problem. So that is how there will be a problem, and you are going to study about that problem scientifically step by step, and then by developing hypothesis. Okay, so hypothesis, what is hypothesis? Hypothesis is nothing, it is statement, tentative statement, which can be true or which can be false. Okay, when you study about your research reports, then definitely a more research methodology will be taught to you people, which talks about hypothesis. It is divided into two aspects, that is alternate hypothesis and null hypothesis. So there will be a tentative statement which is tested through systematic procedure. Okay, and how do you test or solve the problem? By collecting data, analyzing data, and then finally indicating the findings or the conclusions. Okay, so this is a report which communicates the solution to a particular problem in a scientific method by collecting data, analyzing, and finding the conclusions. Now, the third is field study report. Now, as the name suggests, field study it will talk about something related to field. So let's go ahead and see what it talks about. It describes one-time events. One time means something has happened on the field, a particular, reporting or something like that. Then such as trips, okay. Then we have conferences. Then we have seminars as well as the reports from the branch office, industrials and manufacturing plants. So even the branch office have their field study report, that what is going in a branch, on what parameters it is being judged, everything is being done in a field study report. Then we have industrial manufacturing plant. So what is happening in that manufacturing plant or industrial plant, that report is being sent to the main office. Okay, so that is how a report is being prepared, and the actual working conditions and functioning is reported to the main office. So that is again a way of communication. Then again we move ahead with a progress report. Progress report, the name I heard, this progress report, it's very evident. I hope every one of you remembers that report card. Why it was said to be report card? It was said to be report card because it was your progress report. Okay, how you have done your half yearly or quarterly, whatever it is, that is being depicted or communicated to your parents through a particular report card. Okay, so same way there is a progress report. Okay, that how a particular, production, sales, shipping, services, or business processes is working ahead, how it's moving ahead, how the process are taken care of. Okay, so it also tells about the entire functioning. Then we have technical report, technical aspect. It communicates about technical aspect. If we look towards IT, where we don't know about the typical language, okay, so that is something which technical people are well versed with. So what they will be doing, they will be dealing with this technical aspect. Okay, so if we see that, different languages of computer or cloud or, automation, these are technical things which the software engineers must be knowing, and they are working upon it. So they also report in a similar way as we report, right? Then we have financial reports. Definitely, that is again very important aspect, that financial means finance is the base for all the functioning of the organization. Even the business happens in order to earn money, and financial reports tells entire situation of the organization. You must be studying management accounting or any other subjects which talks about financial aspects of the organization. And how do we cross check? That is through financial reporting. That what is the present scenario in terms of finance, what amount of material we can buy, how we will proceed ahead, where we need to cut down our cost. These all things are very essential. So these financial reports are very important in terms of decision making. Whenever you are taking a decision, these financial reports is the first to be discussed, and they are very important. Okay, so it's not only tells the current status, but it tells about the trends. Trends means what has been the previous functioning of the organization, and further we take all the decision based upon these, the financial present scenario and the trends which we have followed so far. So this is very important report with context of business organizations. Then case study. Now, as the name suggests, case study, it is something related to a case, an example, or a situation, or something, something on which we need a study. So what does a case study? What it communicates? It represents, it tells you about a particular incident or a topic or a problem. Okay, it analyzes and it presents lessons learned from a specific case or example. Now, what we do in, usually in management is we give cases, life cases, or a case study where a particular problem is there or a situation is there, and the students are being asked to analyze it from their point of view. So what they do is they learn lots of things with those indicators in particular situation, and they solve the questions, or they try to solve out the actual problem, and they learn through these kind of things. So this is something which learning through examples. So case study is, it helps an individual to analyze their thinking parts, be creative, and these kind of activities is very important, and it is also a way of communicating, right? Because case study is also communicating a particular situation, then you are analyzing it, you're putting up your certain points, and with these examples you are going to take decisions being a future managers. Okay, I think so these 7 are clear to you all, and we move ahead. Okay, so let's quickly revise. Okay, so laboratory reports, research reports, field study reports, progress reports, technical reports, financial reports, and case study. All these reports communicate certain information through their different structure. Okay. Okay. So now the next one is need assessment report. Now, as the name, you can very nicely see or understand that what is need assessment. According to the need, we are going to assess and we will report or communicate. So assess the need for the service or a product, what kind of a service or a product you require. And that is very important because the service, what kind of a service is required, what people you want to cater, so how to develop a product. So these kind of a things are basically need assessment reports. Then we have comparative advantage report. What is comparative advantage report? Comparative advantage report is nothing. It discuss competing products or service within with an analysis of relative advantage and disadvantages. So what is happening when we are talking in terms of comparative advantage? There will be two companies or two product or two services, whatever it is. We are going to compare those products, services, or the companies on the basis of some advantages, disadvantage, or some certain other parameters. And what we do is we collect the data, we analyze on those parameters or the factors, and then we make a report that is known as comparative analysis or comparative advantage report, that which company or which service is better, which service is providing better opportunities, or these kind of things. Okay, so I hope till now you are understanding that these reports, whatever they communicate. Now let's move on to feasibility study. Now, as the feasibility study we have discussed in our last class, it analyzes the problem and predict whether current solution or alternates will be practical, advisable, or produced. So now feasibility means how feasible a particular project is. Okay. So in this feasibility study, you study lots of things. What do you study? That whether this is practical project or not. Okay, then it is advisable on certain parameters, that whether the loan will be granted, the rate of interest will be enough or not, then the product which we are thinking will be produced or not, and desired outcomes. Then there are lots of feasibility, it's financial reports into it, then technical feasibility, then financial feasibility. So this feasibility study again have different components which analyzes specific parts. Okay, then after these components analyze their parts, and further a entire feasibility study is being prepared, and that is how it communicates whether the project is feasible or not. Then we have instruction manuals. This I think so maximum people understand. whenever you get any, you know, electronic device, okay, device or washing machine or TV, anything which you get a instruction manuals. Okay, so what is instructions? Every electronic device comes with certain instructions which are communicated through a manual. So step by step instructions on the use of a product or a service, how you're going to install it or use it, or start it, whatever it is, that step by step instructions are being communicated through manual. Then we have compliance report, document which indicates the extent to which a product or service is within established compliance of parameters or standard. Now, if you see, compliance report means that government organization or certain institutions, they fix certain benchmark. Okay, compliance means whether you are doing it or not, you have to tell that whether you are providing those things. Now, if I tell you the example, you must have heard the name of ISO certified companies. So what are these? ISO certified companies give, you know, um, a guarantee, or what you say, a check on the electronic products that yes, this particular product is being tested on the basis of quality. Okay, so if we talk about compliance report, whenever you say ISO certified, what does that mean? That particular company is following the compliance of that particular quality control, and this ISO certified has certified that that product is safe to be used. So these kind of a things, there is a compliance report, and this compliance report comes with the product or the service, and then the product or the service is used by the customers. Okay, now we have cost benefit analysis report. If you look at these kind of things, it communicate cost and benefits of product and services. So cost benefit analysis, हम क्या कर रहे हैं? We are analyzing the benefit from the cost which we have put in a particular project, and there is a report, a written report, which shows the analysis. That is how it communicates the cost and the benefits of product or the services. So you will be studying these things, I think so, in management accounting. So there you will understand the basic use of cost and benefit, that how much cost you have put up into a particular project and what benefits you are reaping out of it. Okay, so that's very important with the point of view of analyzing that how much benefit we can reap out. Then we have decision reports. It makes the recommendations to the management and becomes tools to solve problem and make decisions. So decision making means it's a kind of, if you see, it's a kind of a decision making tree. If my decision is based on these two aspects, then yes and no. On the basis of yes, what parameters does it fulfill? If no, then what parameters it is not falling according to the compliance. So these types of report is again communicating that what has been the recommendations to the management through the analysis which we are getting through previous reports. Okay, then we have literature review. Okay, what is literature review? It presents summaries of the information available on a given subject. So literature review is nothing but the literature which has already been, you know, um, presented or explained or published. There will be a review of that. So what happens when you are doing a research? Already written papers, research papers, or the study is again reviewed by the people or the researchers or the people who are interested in that particular project or a report. They go through that report or the literature which has been published, and they take out the relevant information according to their topic. So literature review is also kind of a report which communicates that how much work a particular person has done on those parameters or on those studies. Okay, so this is how we look towards these types of reports and their functions. Now, I hope you have understood different types of reports. Now, let's move on to the next section, that is main elements of a report. Now, if we look towards the main elements of the report, it can be divided into elements, purpose, description. Okay. So, whenever we talk about elements, what elements does a particular report consist of? It will consist of title, summary, table of content, introduction, body, and then conclusion. Okay. Now we will study with which purpose the title is being fixed or what will be described in that particular element. Okay. So the first is title. Title is, as everybody understands, that what title, particular report ka title tells you what actually the report tells about. Okay. Now, title, it attracts the reader's attention. It presents the report topic. Explanatory, concise, and relevant. Whenever I'm writing a report, you have also done during your school that whenever you are writing a project or doing certain types of reports or a project, you always used to write a title on the front page. Okay. So basically the title tells you that what is there inside that particular report, what topic or what subject is going to be talked about. Then we have summary. Okay. A brief discuss about the main points of the report. Okay. Brief means very short. It will be brief, logical, and concise. Okay. And it will talk about that further what report consists of. Then we have table of content. It gives a list of section with headlines and a page number. Table of contents, as you know, in books also you have gone through. It consists about different sections, headlines with which you can, directly move to that particular page number. It will be well structured, organized, and precise. Well structured means one after the another, you can directly move on to different sections if you want to. Okay, then we have introduction. Introduction, as the name suggests, it introduces the topic under discussion and approaches to investigation being reported. That topic is decided or discussed, and then approaches, that what ways through which we have analyzed the data or investigated that report. It will be essential. It's a very important aspect because how you have done that analysis part or introduction, you are going to do it. Okay. Then we have body. It describes in what the research is conducted, present the result, and interpret the results. Okay, interpret the research results. So basically क्या है कि research हमने करी कैसे, present कैसे करी है उसको, और interpret हमने किस parameters पे किया. Substantial, okay, and well researched. Okay, this actually body tells about how much work you have done. So it will be a detailed one and well presented. It's very important. And then we have conclusion. Okay. So in conclusion, what we do, or in recommendation, what we do, we review the main idea discussed in the report, make suggestions for further research. Okay. Conclude. We do conclude, and then we further give the suggestions that what can we do or what can be done. Okay. What should be done in order to enhance the functioning, and if there is a problem, then what are the ways through which the problem can be resolved. And then the conclusion will be always concluding and logical. because on these parameters we have come to that particular conclusion, and we suggest that these steps should be taken in order to reach to that particular corrective measures, so that the more implementation is done, the better results it can obtain. So that's all for the day. I think so it was a very difficult class, but still I will say that go through it again and again, because it's interesting when you understand these things, and it's easy to retain if you see these video again and again. And I hope that you all will be well versed with you all will be well versed with the types of reports, functions, and the main elements of the reports. Now see you in next class. Bye students, and do take care of yourselves.